Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at Pop and Twinbee for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now this is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up, and it's in a series of Twinbee titles. Now, as you can see, you can have one or two players. The two player is simultaneous with. Player 1 controls Twinbee and the optional player 2 would be controlling a character called Winbee. And you've got options here. So if you're not happy with the way things are laid out there, you can switch those. You've got game difficulty level. Now the normal mode and couple mode. The couple mode that's really only for two-player mode. In couple mode, that basically means that enemies will primarily focus all their attacks on player 1, so which is a pretty handy way of having a less experienced person play alongside a more experienced one, with the lesser experienced person controlling player 2, as in Winbee, and they won't have quite so much thrown at them compared to Twinbee. So player 1, because I'm only one person, obviously. And you can key in your name here. And with this one, you can actually choose how options go around your ship. With one just following wherever you go, surround speaks for itself, and it engulf does it like that instead. I think I'll stick with surround. And you've got a separate, but as well as regular fire, you've got a and shooting these clouds gives you these power ups, and the orange ones just give you points, but if you keep shooting them, they change colour, and green ones are the ones that give you the drone. The different colours determine what you actually get. The only real downside I have with that is it's very easy to forget which one's which, except for the at least initially. Nope. And every time you take a hit, you lose some of your power. So for things that are on the ground, remember you have to throw bombs. You won't be able to hit them with your regular gunfire. They'll just... From what I understand, there are basically 7 levels of this. Not sure what those raspberry things are. So once you get used to it, it's not too difficult to get the hang of. So every time you take a hit, you lose some of your power-ups. Like when I took that hit earlier, I lost the option that I had. You see some nice visuals in this, and there's this sort of simulation of parallax there. You can go pass over the top of these waterfalls and see the ground far below. Really cleverly done. Just, I beg you, even if you're not into the Japanese style of artwork, don't let that put you off, because this is actually a pretty cool shooter. It's got some great effects later on. Oh, I just took a hit there. Oh, took a hit there. Oh, damn, I took another hit there. The music's pretty quite nice as well. A little bit of animation on the water in the background. There are some moments of humour in this as well. Oh, damn it, took a hit. Yeah, there's the health bars at the, just underneath your score. And in my case, it's the top left. Had there been a second player, it would have been in the top right. And you get continues in this as well. Number of lives you've got is shown in the bottom left corner. Scrolling's nice and smooth. And the pink bells give you that shield. And it lasts until you take too many hits. Tell you what, Konami did some great games back in the day. Strangely enough, even though the enemies that were on the little flying saucers earlier in the game had to be killed using bombs, you actually just shoot these particular ones with regular fire, which is a little bit confusing because you'd expect it to have to be done with bombs just like the ones earlier, so it does imply a slight bit of inconsistency. Now just take out the pirate captain. Oh. Oh, crikey, that's good. A whole load of bells that you can shoot to try and power up your... Yeah, well, one thing you have to be careful of is if you pick up if you pick up too many speed ups, it slows you down. So that can also be a little bit of a pig to remember. So here's one of those effects I've mentioned. They've got that rippling effect in the background. So, now you can see what I was saying, begging people not to be put off by a cutesy exterior. Yeah, it doesn't take too much getting used to having to switch between firing and throwing bombs. It becomes second nature before too long. Oh damn! I took a hit. Good, I've got an option. Quite a lot on the screen without slowdown here, which is good as well. Oh damn it! I took a hit. Oh dear me. Oh darn it. I'm taking too much damage here. with some great rippling effects. I believe that would have been done using Mode 7 as well. Well, it is a background, so it's not impossible. Damn it, I lost my shield. I took a hit. Oh. Hit detection's usually really good, so can't really complain about that. More, you notice the music's different for each level. Oh damn it, I got trapped. I'm gonna one more hit and I'm a goner. Yeah, died. So that's Pop and Twinbee for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Pretty cool shoot 'em up. As I said, do not be put off by its Japanese anime style / manga style exterior, because there's actually a pretty cool and pretty fun shoot 'em up in there with one or two nice ideas in it. So graphics really nice and colourful, nice and cartoony, and amusing at times. Nice and clear. Although occasionally it can be a bit hard to tell what you need to bomb and what can be shot shot with your regular chibi blaster. The sound and music are really top notch. Nice little speech samples whenever you pick up a power up bell. Gameplay, well, it responds as well as you can expect. It's up to Konami's usual, generally high standards of the time. There's some nice features like the couple mode that I mentioned, which makes it great, particularly for someone who's not so experienced, to be able to team up with someone who is, in the way I described earlier. And if I had some complaints, as I said, sometimes it's a bit tricky to remember what the different coloured shells do at the drop of a hat. I mean, if you want to remember them, expect to have to do a little bit of swatting up to tell which one does what and be able to recognise them at the drop of a hat, because for a while at least it will confuse you a little, and you might accidentally pick up one you didn't particularly want to pick up at a particular time. I would have preferred it if the bells could have had icons on them to differentiate them a bit more, because it'd be a bit more descriptive than just the colours, and then it would have made it more immediately accessible. And as I said, there's some slight inconsistencies between what you think should be okay, what you think you might need to bomb versus a similarly positioned thing later. So there's sometimes a slight lack of clarity as to what you have to use bombs on in order to destroy it or even harm it. But those aren't particularly major faults. So I'll happily give Pop and Twinbee 8 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this review. Catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.